Are you ready for an adventure? Welcome to the topic, The Raiders of the Sulu Sea. Raiders of Sulu Sea is a documentary film about how the Spaniards defended the city of Zamboanga's Fort Pilar. The Pilar was the last base of defense which was used to control our economy in the past. The tribes of Sulu and Maguindanao were basically two kingdoms who launched a bloody attack in the Fort Pilar within Zamboanga City. There are 600 Spanish soldiers to take the fort and 3,000 battle raiders. So the Battle of Fort Pilar started. Fort Pilar was built by Spaniards to discourage potential invaders. This fort was the base of operations to check on slave raiding to the north and coming back. It's amazing how the tribes initially took over the fort as they really had to surpass the Spanish presence as the slave raiding became more rampant when the Spaniards came.
The documentary itself talks about the slave raiding activities. The raiders came from different tribes within Sulu. The tribes involved in the slave raiding are the Balanginis, Ilanons, and Tausugs. They are known as the pirates because they are not only the greatest sailors and swordsmen, they are also known for putting strings on the palms of the people they've captured, which is very savage. It's very hard for someone who's not used to seeing slave raiding to understand, but slave raiding during those times was legal. There's a speculation is that these raiders were not too savage, but they are just defending their way of life against the foreign oppressors.
Most of the raids that happened in Sulu were sanctioned by the sultanates in the name of a higher cause, and that is the spread of Islam and eliminate the presence of Christian Spanish in Zamboanga. But the Spanish colonial administrators thought that it was the responsibility to prevent the spread of Islam from the south to the Christianized populations in the north. Despite of the whole film talking about slave raiding, the context of it made me think about how the raiders were called as pirates and how the battle between the raiders of Sulu and the colonizers is not just about slaves, but it is a battle about religion. It was the priority of the sultanates to eradicate the presence of the Spaniards, wherein the Spaniards were the ones who initially Christianized the country. The retaliation of the tribes was somehow necessary as the Spaniards wanted to force their own belief to them, which made them feel oppressed, thus leading to a bloody war that did not end well.
Just before the arrival of Western powers in the region, foreign trading was booming. When Europeans came to this region, they came for the goods that drew them in. The products that couldn't be bought somewhere else, not only spices, but woods, tin, and pepper. Those goods were already very important in China trade in the 18th century. But when the Europeans arrived, there was already a trend of trade between China and India, and Europeans simply joined into that pattern. The difference being that Europeans chose to dominate it. In several ways, the Spanish wished to be a part of this trade exchange. However, they decided to do so in combination with conversion and occupation of the islands, which created several significant tensions between the South and the newly arriving Spanish forces. As the Spanish took possession of the Philippines, the Muslim South's dominance faded away, and the new Western masters wanted to conquer trade in Hulu, the seat of the power of the Juli Sultanate. Hulu is only a mere echo of the great economic and political force it once was, and although the seafaring warriors and slave raiders who formed are long gone, their proud descendants remains.
According to Halman Abubakar, Tausug descendants, maybe the Spain just wanted to Christianize Sulu, force feeding us with something we don't want to believe. And it's like oppression, so we go to war. And when you call us pirates for doing that, it's your decision. But for us, we are fighting for something we believe. we are freedom fighters. It is our fight from freedom, freedom from oppression, freedom from not losing your own identity. In the documentary video, it also showcases the different kinds of weapons being used by Muslim raiders, particularly kalis, kampilan, and morocris. Shapes, sizes, and designs of the weapons vary depending on the group of Muslims they belong. Overall, this film is not only amusing for us to learn, but it is also an eye-opener for us to see how the war really started out, along with the thoughts if the tribes had won. The whole Philippines could be all Muslim if we won that fight. This story is another inspiring film to watch for us to see yet again how we first retaliated against an oppressor. Despite of this not really ending well, it is still a story of our own that showed how the Filipino people have always fought for their freedom, which is making us love in our own heritage more and more.